March 6, 2008. 27th floor, Sofitel Hotel, Bangkok. Victor Bout sits across from two Colombian rebels. Between them, maps. Technical specs for 800 surface-to-air missiles. "We'll airdrop them into Colombia," Bout says. "Your war, your weapons, my planes." The door explodes open. DEA agents, Thai police, guns drawn. Bout looks at the lead agent, smiles. I guess the game is over. 20 years. He'd armed warlords, terrorists, and governments across 4 continents. Flew weapons into war zones nobody else would touch. Made hundreds of millions. But he couldn't see the trap. Drop a comment below. Where are you watching from? For 16 years, Victor Bout did the impossible. Evaded CIA, FBI, Interpol, British intelligence, supplied weapons to Taliban, warlords, genocidaires across 4 continents, made hundreds of millions. How? 3 things made him untouchable. 1. He never entered countries with extradition treaties. 2. He operated through 60 shell companies across 12 nations. 3. He owned a private air force nobody could track. This is how he built that empire, and the one mistake that destroyed it. Soviet Union collapses. 1991. Warehouses full of weapons, nobody guarding them. Victor Bout, Soviet military translator, speaks 6 languages, sees opportunity. He relocates to United Arab Emirates, starts buying Soviet cargo planes, Ilyushin Il-76s, Antonov An-12s, massive transport aircraft, cheap because Soviet military is selling everything. By 2000, 60 aircraft, operating through shell companies, Aircess, Sanair, Trans Aviation Network. Registered in Liberia, Equatorial Guinea, places with zero oversight. The planes fly everywhere nobody else will. Officially, humanitarian supplies. Actually, weapons, cash, diamonds, drugs. His clients, Taliban, Liberian warlord Charles Taylor, Rwandan genocidaires, anyone with cash. His rule, cash up front. No questions, no politics. "I'm a businessman," he tells reporters. "I transport cargo. What people do with it isn't my concern." Peter Hain gives a speech. Victor Bout is the merchant of death who owns air companies that ferry in arms for rebels. The name sticks. Intelligence agencies adopt it. UN investigators trace his aircraft to 14 conflict zones, weapons in, diamonds and resources out. US Treasury freezes his assets. Interpol issues red notice. Bout adapts, creates new shell companies, registers planes under different names, keeps operating. Nobody can catch him. He never uses his real name, never enters extradition treaty countries, constantly moving between Moscow, Dubai, Africa. By 2008, US officials estimate his facilitated conflicts killed hundreds of thousands. But his real genius wasn't the planes. It was how he made himself invisible. Then the DEA offered him a deal he couldn't refuse. Late 2007, DEA Counter-Narcotics Division has a problem. Colombian rebel group FARC is trafficking cocaine, using drug money to buy weapons. DEA wants to disrupt FARC's supply, but most arms dealers are too paranoid. Then someone suggests, what if we offer Victor Bout the biggest deal of his career? The plan? DEA sources pose as FARC's commanders, request massive weapons purchase, $20 million, everything needed to fight American helicopters. If Bout agrees, they'll have him on material support to terrorists. Conspiracy to kill Americans. The risk? Bout is careful. Might smell the trap. January 2008. DEA contacts Andrew Smulian, former Bout business partner. DEA makes him an offer. Help us catch Bout, or face federal charges. Smulian agrees. Becomes cooperating witness. January 10th to 11th, 2008. Smulian meets 3 DEA sources on Curacao Island. They pose as FARC leaders. Codenames Carlos and Ricardo. They explain their needs. Smulian takes notes. Says he'll contact his Russian friend. The sources add one crucial detail. We're fighting Americans in Colombia. U.S. helicopters. Smulian promises to relay this to Bout. February 2008. Bout agrees to meeting, but suspicious of Colombia, proposes neutral location. Bangkok, Thailand. No extradition treaty with U.S. Bout feels safe there. What Bout didn't know, everything would be recorded. March 5th, 2008. Sofitel Hotel, Bangkok. 27th floor conference room. Bout arrives with Smulian. Meets the 3 FARC representatives. DEA recording everything. Audio, video, multiple angles. Thai police listening from adjacent rooms. The discussion lasts hours. Bout takes handwritten notes. The sources ask, "Can you deliver into Colombia? How quickly?" Bout answers confidently. Shows pamphlets for Soviet cargo planes. Explains he owns Ilyushin 76 Perfect for airdrops. He spreads a map of South America. Asks them to mark American radar locations. My pilots can fly low, under radar. Parachute the weapons into remote areas. Then the crucial moment. One source says, "These weapons will be used against American helicopters, American personnel. Is that a problem?" Bout doesn't hesitate. "No problem. The Americans are helping the Colombian government. You're fighting for your cause. I understand." They discuss payment. $20 million. Cash up front. Bout promises first delivery within 6 weeks. 2 Ilyushin 76 aircraft. Offers to sell the planes afterwards. $5 million each. Keep them for future transports. They're negotiating details when the door crashes open. March 6th, 2008, 2:47 p.m. Bangkok time. DEA Special Agent Rob Zachariasevich leads the team. Thai Royal Police provide local authority. They've listened to 12 hours of recorded conversation. Bout committed to supplying weapons. Acknowledged they'd kill Americans. Discussed logistics. The conference room door explodes open. "Victor Bout, you're under arrest." Bout looks up from his notes, surprisingly calm, almost relieved. He glances at Agent Zachariasevich, smiles slightly. "I guess the game is over." No resistance, cooperates completely. Hands over his notebook, his computer, his phone. Everything Bout said was recorded. His handwritten notes detail exact weapons, quantities, prices. The trap was perfect. But Bout has one advantage. He's in Thailand, not U.S. territory. August 2009. Bangkok Criminal Court rules. No extradition. Thai judges cite insufficient evidence. Claim entrapment. U.S. protests. Applies political pressure. Russia intervenes. Offers Thailand economic incentives to keep Bout. Putin personally involved. For 18 months, Bout sits in Bangkok prison. 2 governments fighting over him. August 2010. Thai appeals court reverses decision. Extradition approved. Russia furious. threatens consequences, offers prisoner swaps, offers money. Thailand proceeds anyway. U.S. pressure proves stronger. November 16, 2010. Bout placed on DEA plane at Bangkok Airport. Direct flight to New York. The Merchant of Death is now in American custody. October 11, 2011. Federal Court, Southern District of New York. 4 charges. Conspiracy to kill U.S. nationals. Conspiracy to kill U.S. officers. Conspiracy to acquire anti-aircraft missiles. Conspiracy to provide material support to FARC. Bout pleads not guilty. Claims entrapment. His defense: I never had weapons, I was just talking. Prosecution counters: he agreed to supply weapons to kill Americans, discussed logistics. That's conspiracy. The jury watches 12 hours of video. Bout discussing weapons, taking notes, agreeing to kill Americans. November 2, 2011. Jury deliberates 8 hours. Verdict: guilty on all counts. April 5, 2012. Judge Shira Scheindlin gives him minimum allowed, 25 years federal prison. Bout speaks through interpreter. I never intended to kill anyone. I never intended to sell arms. God knows this truth. He points at DEA agents. These people know this truth. God forgive you. Then he's led away. Federal prisoner number 91,641-054, Marion Federal Prison, Illinois. This is where the story gets strange. Bout serves quietly. Model prisoner, but Russia never stops trying to free him. 2012 to 2022. Multiple prisoner swap proposals. U.S. refuses. July 2022. WNBA star Brittany Griner arrested in Moscow. Drug charges. 9-year sentence. U.S. government under pressure. Public demands Griner's release. Russia makes offer. Griner for bout. Direct swap. December 8, 2022. Abu Dhabi Airport. Brittany Griner walks to American plane. Victor Bout walks to Russian plane. After 14 years in American prison, the Merchant of Death goes home. Bout lands in Moscow. Greeted as hero. Putin awards him medal. Within weeks, he joins Liberal Democratic Party of Russia. Wins legislative seat. Publicly supports Ukraine invasion. The man imprisoned for conspiracy to kill Americans now works for Russian government.